Hi, and welcome back to Decoding Tarot. Today we're looking at one of the most quietly powerful cards in the tarot deck, the High Priestess. The High Priestess doesn't shout, she doesn't act, she just knows. And it's fascinating how differently that feeling of knowing comes through depending on the deck. Today we'll be looking at the Rider-Waite-Smith, Light Seers, Moon Void and Ukiyo tarot decks, and tune into how the mood shifts. Then look at how this changes interpretation and subtly giving changes to how you make the reading. Now, the core meaning of the High Priestess card is intuition, in particular feminine intuition, inner knowledge, holding secrets and hidden information, and connection to the unconscious. She is a guardian of what is behind the veil. In a reading, it often means the answer is not external, but something to be revealed, or something that you already know to be true. In each case, not doing, but sensing, waiting and trusting. So first we look at the Rider-Waite-Smith High Priestess. High Priestess is sitting between two pillars, one light, one dark. These represent the conscious, unconscious, or severity and mercy. Behind her is a veil covered in dates and pomegranates. The dates and pomegranates are showing fertility. The moon appears a couple of times. Her headdress shows the moon in different stages, so in stages and cycles. And she also has a moon at her feet to emphasize the impact of the moon, to showing unconsciousness. She's holding a scroll which is partially hidden, showing hidden knowledge that's not fully revealed. She's also dressed in fairly religious wear. She looks like when she's wearing a nun's habit, showing the sacred. Now this version feels formal, feels sacred, and she feels a distant figure. She's not inviting you in, she's guarding something. So the veil behind her is separating us from the spiritual world, from the world we don't know. The effect on reading is that she shows that the answer exists, but you're not really ready for it yet. And you need to be looking inward, not outward. And there is something hidden. If we then move on to the Light Seers, High Priestess. Now this figure feels more accessible. It's the images which are open, there's a more flow to the card, and this is showing intuition in a more human sense. The figure is less guarded and more embodied. She's not a gatekeeper, she is a guide. Few of the symbols on the card are quite similar to the Rider-Waite, so again we see the moon on her headdress, again showing cycles and unconsciousness. The veil is still present, but is making up sort of two pillars like we saw on the Rider-Waite's card, but they're actually the green veil at the sides. Behind her is the cosmos, showing a connection to the outer world. And one interesting feature that you'll probably not notice until it's pointed out is her eyes are both closed and open at the same time. So she's looking out at the same time she's looking inwards. So the effect on readings this has is just more trying to have some trust in yourself, because you already have the answer. And your intuition is active right now. So it's instead of being a guarded secret in Rider-Waite, it is a secret that you already have, but you just have to find it. on to the Moon Void High Priestess. This deck tends to lean into shadow work and self-reflection and more emotional depths than some of the other decks. So the deck's intention is to bring introspection, aid with healing, and to explore the hidden. The feel of this card is more intimate, it's more raw and introspective, and there's a heavier feel to this card. This card is not just about intuition, it's about facing yourself with the uncomfortable truths. Again, some of the imagery here is like we've seen on the previous two decks. We still see pillars representing the light and the dark. We still have the veil behind her separating the spiritual world and the hidden, and as always the moon representing unconsciousness and cycles. In a reading, this card would tend to mean that you know what the answer is, but you're avoiding it. This is less about external mystery and more about personal truth. This card is not gentle and is more confrontational than the first two we've looked at. The Ukiyo deck. Now in this case, the figure in the card is more grounded and set in a human setting. She's wearing Japanese dress. Again, she's holding a scroll showing the hidden truths, but in a more structural environment. She is calm, poised, disciplined, culturally grounded, and showing a quiet clarity. In a reading, this would indicate getting wisdom from study and observation. So being still, watching and learning rather than taking an active role, and gaining understanding through patience. Again, some of the imagery does carry over from the other cards. Again, they're all based on Rider-Waite. So again, we have a moon on the headdress and a moon at her feet. The woodwork behind her does form two towers, but we do get more of a country scene behind her rather than a veil. So to compare the cards in Rider-Waite, we have mystery, distance and hidden truth. In Light Seers, we have connection, intuition and inner voice. In Moon Void, we have introspection, emotional depth. And Ukiyo, we have calm observation and quiet wisdom. This is the same card, but with each deck you have a different experience, giving awareness and refinement. This shows how important the deck choice can be when making tarot readings. The meaning itself does not change for the cards, but the feel does. And the feel of the cards can shape the reading. So please tell me in the comments which of these High Priestesses talks to you. Now the next video I'm going to be showing over the next few weeks is a series that I'm calling Tarot Backwards, and how the cards became what we see today. So a little bit about the history of tarot. So thank you very much for your time. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.